Hello, by the end of this video, you're gonna know how to make all of these different websites, and I'm gonna show you how to make all of these different websites step by step with no steps skipped. You're not only gonna know how to make all of these different websites, but we can also mix and match these different websites. Maybe we like this Lucy Anderson with this Christy Dowson, and we wanna mix them together. Totally possible, totally doable. Or maybe we want this a clean car is a happy car with the garden of your dreams, and we want to take them on our website, mix them together, change the content. We can totally do that. Or maybe random, we want to do the breathe easy with this red thing over here. We want to mix them together. We can totally do that. We can not only mix them together, but we can also obviously provide our own designs on there also. But I always tell people it's super important, I think, to start off with a starting design so you're not looking at a blank website in fear like, what do I do? So it's much easier to start off with a blank website. We're gonna be doing this website in 3 easy steps, and they are setup, options, and design. Setup, options, and design. The setup is going to be where we get our domain name and hosting. So your domain name is your website name. So your domain name is probably beginners.Thank, yourname.com, a nonprofit you're working on.org. So that's your website name. Without your website name, nobody has any idea of what to type in to visit your website. The second thing in the setup, though, is your hosting. So your hosting is a computer that's on 24 hours a day that holds all of your information. So for example, this is an image on a website right here, and this is an image on a website right here. This needs to be held somewhere on the internet. So there needs to be a computer that's on 24 hours a day that's holding this content so that when someone types in that domain name, it pops up and this information shows up. If you didn't have hosting, someone would type in your domain name and there would be nothing to show. The website would come up blank because there's no place to store all of your website information, images, and everything like that. So in the setup, we need your domain name and hosting. The second step is the options, the different options that we can do and we can use. The options are literally endless. So we can do so many things on our website. Maybe we want our website to have e-commerce ability on it. So we want to be able to take a shopping cart and we want people to be able to purchase things on it. So that is super easy to do. Or maybe we want a blog, or maybe we don't want any of that. We just want a really simple website. And so this tutorial is going to be super simple for you because a lot of the options you won't even do because it's so easy just to set up a super simple website. Other options that we can do is we can have over here, if we want, we can have some live chat. So when someone goes to our website, it'll pop up and we can chat with them live and tell them about our services or about our products or anything like that. Some other options we can do, which I think are super important, is like a Google Analytics. So a Google Analytics allows you to see how many people are going to your website a day and where they're coming from. Very important things to know if your social media postings are working or if you're getting traffic from the search engines. Super important. So that's all in the options. So we've done setup. We're gonna do options. We're gonna get all the raw material on your website. And finally, the third phase is the design. We're gonna get the design going on your website. In the options, we put all the raw materials, all of the different pages and the different things that we want on our website. In the design, we're actually gonna tweak the design. So we're gonna put in your content, type in your content, put in your images, put in different way it shows up on your website. So again, the 3 steps are setup, options, design. Setup, options, design. It's super easy, and I've come up with this method after 8 years of doing this, and I think it's the best method because obviously you need to set up, but you don't want to jump into design right away before you know all of your options. So I think it's super important to do it this way rather than jumping into design and then not knowing all the possibilities. You want to put all of that raw material on your website before you begin shaping and molding it. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it step by step. If anything I said here didn't make sense, don't worry because I'm gonna show you how to do it all step by step with no step skipped. So let's begin. So we have our main steps: setup, options, and design. Setup, options, design. Pretty easy. But those steps need to be broken down into sub-steps. We're going to be tackling setup first, and setup has 3 sub-steps, which are get your domain name, get hosting, and install WordPress. Now, setup is pretty interesting because it's the only step that has any cost associated with it. All the other steps are free. So I'm going to be explaining what each of these steps are and how much they cost. So your domain name. Your domain name is your website name. So my domain name is tyler.com. Google's domain name is google.com. Your domain name will probably be something like yourbusiness.com or yourname.com or yournonprofit.org. So that's your domain name. Your domain name is also called your website name or your URL. Your domain name costs about $13 per year, and there's no way of getting out of that because you need to be able to tell someone what your website name is in order for them to go to your website. Now, hosting is something a little bit different. It's a computer that's on 24/7 that holds all of your website information. So like your logo, your text, all your content, and all your files. That's what hosting is. It holds all that information. It's a computer that's on 24/7. When someone types in your domain name, it goes to the hosting and the hosting serves up that information. Without hosting, if someone went to your website, the website would come up blank. There would be nothing there. So you absolutely need hosting. So hosting costs, and I'll show you how to get a discount, but it costs about $10 per month. So I'm going to show you how to get a discount, but that's what hosting is. Next is installing WordPress. What is WordPress? WordPress is a content management system, which is just a fancy way of saying it helps you manage your website content. So instead of having to do all this nerdy stuff like coding and mess with FTP files and CSS files and everything like that, it does it all visually for you, and honestly, it does it much better and much faster and much more efficiently. WordPress is the most popular way in the entire world to make a website. It blows places like Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, and Weebly out of the water. They don't even come close to the popularity of WordPress. WordPress is used by companies like CNN, Forbes, and people like Jay-Z and Katy Perry, and it's by far the best way of making a website. And I think that's because it's what's called open source, so anyone can add things to WordPress, and you can also transfer your files anywhere and download them to your computer, where these other companies don't allow you to do that because it's their own proprietary software. So WordPress, I'm happy to tell you, is absolutely free. So that's it for domain name hosting and installing WordPress. That's it for the setup. It cost in total about $10 to start and $10 a month, or if you use the discount that I'm going to provide, it's $30 for the entire year. So about $3 monthly, which I think is an incredible deal to have your website broadcasting to the entire world. So $30 for the entire year, about $3 a month. We can get your domain name and hosting at the same place, which is hostgator.com. So all we have to do is open up our browser and go to hostgator.com. So that's hostgator.com and press enter. So I do get a commission for recommending HostGator, but 9 years ago I made a video teaching people how to make a website with HostGator, and I didn't get anything for it. It's just who I use. But since then, HostGator has contacted me, giving my audience the biggest discount that there is. So I really appreciate that, and it helps me make these tutorials absolutely free. I really like HostGator because of their 24/7 live email, chat, and phone support, and they just make it super simple to set up a WordPress website. So we have all these options right here, and I don't think that we should use the pro hosting because it's just too much stuff. We don't need all of that stuff, and we can always upgrade later. So I really think you should just go with the hosting. Now we have 3 options here: the shared hosting, the website builder, or WordPress hosting. You would think that you would use WordPress hosting, but I think, again, it just costs more and it's way too much for what we need right now, and you can always upgrade to that later. we can get just as much with the shared hosting, and you can install WordPress on it, saving you the most amount possible. So we're gonna click on shared hosting. And if we scroll down, we're gonna see these different plans here, the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. But before we do that, we can actually go up here and we can go to /unlock, UNLOCK, and it'll take us to the same page, but it will be a much lower discount. So if we scroll down, we can see those 3 different plans: the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. The business plan is just way too much. We don't really need it, so it really is between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. The difference between the hatchling plan and the baby plan is the baby plan offers unlimited domain names. So you can have like yourwebsite.com, your mom's website.org, your other website.net, a client's website.com. You can have as many domain names as you want, where with the hatchling plan, you can only have a single domain name. So like yourwebsite.com. So it really is up to you. Do you already have 2 domain names, 2 websites that you want to start? Then you go with the baby plan. Most people, I think, are just starting with a single domain name. So just go with the hatchling plan. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start off with a single domain name, and we're just gonna click on the buy now on the hatchling plan. All right, so now it's asking us, do we already own a domain or do we want to register a new domain? We would click I already own this domain. For example, if we got our domain already from somewhere like GoDaddy.com. So you type it in right here, .com, that you already own it, and put it in right there. Today I'm registering a new domain, so I'm gonna click on register a new domain, and I'm just gonna type it in right here. So as we can see, our website name is available right there, but sometimes your website name won't be available, so you have to get a little creative with your website name, or you can use a different extension. So that's like the .com, the .net, the .org, the .space, the .tech, the .store, or just be a little bit more creative with your website name. Hopefully it is available, but it's not that big of a deal if it's not. You can always change your website name later. It does cost about, somewhere between $12 and $15 a year for a new website name, but it's not that big of a deal. So as you can see, they also want us to add in the .club, the .site, the .net, the .online, space, tech, website, org, but I don't think that we need all of these. They just obviously want to make more money, but I don't think it's like someone's gonna copy you or something with the .net. I don't really find any value in getting any of these other extensions personally. So we can scroll down and skip all of that. So I'm a little bit conflicted on this domain privacy protection because on one hand, I want to save you the most amount possible, but on the other hand, some people get annoyed if they get an email or a call from somewhere from a different country saying, do you want some Google rankings, or do you want me to develop your website? So that's what domain privacy protection ensures, that when you register a domain name, when you register your website name, yourwebsite.com, people can look that up and people can see your email address and your phone number. What the domain privacy protection does is that it makes it so that you can't see any of that. So for $15 a year, sometimes it's worth it to people so that they don't get any of those spam or annoying phone calls. But sometimes to people, it just really doesn't matter. So for me, it just really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna uncheck add domain privacy so that I will probably get a couple of calls and it might be a little bit annoying, but I'll save $15 a year and we'll save the most amount possible. So now we can go down and we can see that our package type was hatchling because we didn't use the baby plan. Use the baby plan again if you have unlimited domains. So if you want multiple domains on your website, just starting out, use the hatchling if you only have a single domain name right now. For the billing cycle, if we click on it, we can see all of the options right here. And the options are interesting because the discount only applies one time. So if you got the monthly plan, it would only apply for that first month. Then you would pay about $10 a month. So it'd be like $10 up front and $10 a month. Where the yearly applies for the entire year and the 3-year applies for the entire 3 years. So what's the best strategy? What's the best balance of paying as little upfront but still saving the most in the long run? And I really think that that is the 12-month plan because you save the most. It's $2.58 a month. The 3-year plan is $2.57 a month, but you're paying a little bit more up front. The 1 month, you'll be paying the least amount up front, but you'll be paying more in the long run. So I think the best balance is the 12-month plan, the 1-year plan. It gives a super great discount. So once you do that, we can create your own HostGator account. So just enter in your email address, confirm your email address, enter in your password right here, put in your security pin, scroll down, we can enter in our first name, last name, phone number, address, country, state, I'm in California, and zip code. Next, we can go up and we can either pay through credit card or PayPal, so you can enter that in right here. Don't worry, this is not a real credit card number. Enter in your code, your expiration date. Then we can scroll down and it's gonna ask you about additional services. So do we need the SSL? Our website already comes with SSL, so I don't know, this is some advanced SSL. We definitely don't need it, leave it unchecked. Do we need Site Lock Essentials to secure our website? There are plugins that allow you to secure your website, so I don't think that we need this either, so we're gonna uncheck it. Do we need professional email? I think you should get your email from Gmail, but your website already comes with email. It's a basic email, but there is email, so I wouldn't get it from Microsoft. I would get it from Gmail if I was gonna do it, so let's not do that either. And do we wanna back up our hard work for $2 a month? And I think we don't need that either. I'm gonna show you how to download a plugin that allows you to back up all your work. And do you want to improve your search rankings and increase web visitors with the HostGator SEO tools? I don't think that you need this. I'm not sure what they would even do. I don't think that's something that they can really help you with. So I'm gonna say no to that. Then we want to enter in our coupon code. It should already be in there, but if it's not, just type in unlock, UNLOCK, and press validate. All right, now we can review our order. We get 24/7, 365 phone, live chat, and email support, instant account activation, 45-day money-back guarantee, our registered domain name for 1 year. We have the Hatchling plan for 12 months. So this is all for 12 months and it comes out to $33.05. Now that may go up and down a few dollars here and there, but it should be about between $30 and $35, maybe give or take a dollar or two. So now we can go down and we can click, you have read and agree to the terms of service, and click check out now. So we've actually completed the hardest part, which was deciding to build our website. Now everything is pretty much downhill from here. We're gonna do the last part of the setup, which is installing WordPress. It's super easy. All we have to do is go over here after we've checked out. We'll see a page like this and then click install now. Then it's gonna ask us what current version we have. That's fine. Then it's gonna ask us to choose where we want to install it. So I have a whole bunch of domain names because I have the baby plan, but I'm going to install it on learnhowtocreateawebsite.com. All right, and make sure that this is blank. Don't put anything here, because if you have it, then it will install it on learnhowtocreateawebsite.com or yourwebsite.com/something instead of just yourwebsite.com. Next, it's gonna ask us the site settings. So for your site name, you can just put whatever your site name is. You can always change this later, so don't worry about it too much, but I'm just gonna put create a website as my site name. Your site name will probably be your business name. So whatever your business name or whatever your name is will be your site name. Your site description is how you describe your website. So if you do plumbing, maybe you would say Los Angeles plumber since 1972. But I'm just gonna type in learn how to create a website. All right, now we can scroll down. It's gonna ask us for our username and password. So I'm gonna put in my name as the username. You'll put in your name. And the password, I'm going to hide this so I don't get hacked by the internet. And I'm gonna put that in right here. And then your email address. So maybe I'll just put in my name at learnhowtocreateawebsite.com for my email. You can always add some later if you want to. Not a big deal, pretty easy to add. Then we're gonna select our language, English, and we're gonna skip all of these things. We don't need it. Then we're going to skip this too, and we're gonna go right to install. Now, instead of just clicking on that, we can actually put in our email. If you already clicked on it, no big deal, but we can put in our email so we get all of our installation details, like our username and password that we just made. We're just gonna click on install. And now it's gonna install. All right, so now that it's done installing, we're gonna get a congratulations, the software was installed successfully. But if we click on it, we're gonna actually see this sad face because your website isn't ready yet. Your website might take up to an hour, maybe 2 hours, sometimes up to 24 hours, but it's very rare, but probably from 10 minutes to 1 hour for your website to go across the entire world. So your website is spreading out to all of the servers, all of the hosts into the entire world, and it's letting them know that your website exists. So right now you might see this, but if you check back in 10, 20, 30 minutes, it will start working. So right now I'm just gonna close this right here. I'm gonna take a little break, and when I get it back, we're gonna try it again. All right, so I'm back. It's been about 20 minutes, so I'm gonna see if my website works. So I'm gonna click on it, and there we go. We have our website. I'm just gonna close this right here. All right, so now we have our website online. If someone went to your site, they would see something like this hello world right here. We can check out the different pages. Obviously, there's nothing really on it, and obviously this looks pretty bad, but if we click on the sample page, we can see it. It's a sample page. It looks okay, not the best. We're gonna make it look much better. And if you click up here, we can go back to the home page, and we have this blog post right here. And it doesn't look that great, but it is our website, and we saved a lot of money just by getting here. So how do we actually log into our website? Well, it's super easy. All you have to do is go to yourwebsite.com and then /WP-admin, WP-ADMIN, and press enter. Now it's gonna ask us for our username and password. So we're just gonna enter that in right here. So what was our username? We just created it, so you should remember it. But my username was Tyler, and my password was whatever my password was. Then just press login. All right, so we're officially done with the setup phase of the website. We've signed up for hosting, we've got our domain name, we installed WordPress, and we're logged in to the dashboard. Now it's time for all of the options, and I'm gonna show you all of the options that you can have on your website, and I think that you're really gonna like it, and it's gonna be really cool. So let's explore all of the different options of your website. This is phase 2. So we have setup, options, and design. This is the options part of the website. So as we can see from this and some different things, we have all of this extra stuff on our website, and it's not really necessary. So it's basically like when you get a new phone and you have all of these apps that you don't really want on your phone, or you get a new computer and you have all of these programs on your computer that you don't really want. The manufacturer got paid by someone to install those programs on your phone and on your computer in order to drive down the cost of that phone or computer, but we don't want all that stuff on there. It's the same thing with all this stuff right here. They basically got paid to install it, but we don't really want all of that stuff on there. So how do we get rid of all of that stuff? That's the first thing that we're gonna be doing. And basically they are plugins that are installed, so we're just gonna clean all of the plugins out. So we can just go to plugins right here. And if we scroll down, we can see all of these different plugins that aren't really needed, in my opinion. So we just click on this right here, this plugin, and I'll select all of them. Then we go to deactivate and press apply. And then click on it again and go to delete and apply, and that will delete all of them. Say goodbye. And now if we go back to our dashboard, we can see that we have a nice clean website. None of those extra plugins are installed. Everyone can start off clean and fresh. So this is what they call the dashboard. It's basically the back end of your website. Your dashboard is where you control all of the options. It's where you go when you log in and go onto your website. And it's the place that you need to go in order to edit your website. You need to log in. Once you log in, you hit the dashboard. So once we hit the dashboard, we can go back to our website by clicking on this up here. And now we're logged into our website. And you can tell that you're logged in by this bar up here. So this bar lets us know that we are logged in. No one else sees this except for us. So this is how we know that we're logged in. To get back into the dashboard, all you have to do is hover over your website name and click on it, and you're back into the dashboard. All right, next I just want to show you something that I just like to show people. If you ever want to change your username or password or add a different user, you can just click on users. and you can click on your name or you can add new. If you click on your name, you can scroll down and you can generate a new password and change your password like that, then just click update profile. So that's how you change a password or add a new user. The next thing that I like to do is 2 additional checks, and that's making sure that WordPress is updated and also making sure your permalinks are correct. I'll show you how to do that right now. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is see if WordPress is updated. So we click on this dashboard right here, and if we had an update, it would have like a 1 next to it, but there are no updates, so we don't need to even click on it. But if you did, you would just click on right here, and there would be a big update button right here that you would just press on. Super simple. The next thing I want to check is permalinks. If we click on our website name right here, and we go to the sample page, and click on that, we can see that it's ourwebsite.com/sample-page. Sometimes hosting companies have /ID=1 or / and some numbers. We want to make sure that everyone is on the same page, so their URL shows up like this, which is much better than a number or a letter or something like that. So we can go back into our dashboard. Then we can go into settings and go to permalinks. So right now our permalinks are on day and name. So if we had a blog post, it would actually put the date in it, but I don't really like that. I like the clean version of it, which is right here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put in that post name. So go ahead and just click on post name. It really is up to you, but I like it to be as simple as possible. So click on post name and click save changes. Now everyone's permalinks will be the same and really simple. And in my opinion, post name is the best. So the next thing that we want to do is make sure your website is discoverable by the search engines. And I think you can enable this right now, even if your website isn't done. So the way to do that is you can go over reading right here and click on it, and make sure discourage search engines from indexing the site is not checked. So we want it to be not checked, just like this, and save changes. This will make sure that our website is now discoverable by places like Google and Bing and Yahoo, all of the popular search engines. All right, the next thing that we're gonna do is install our theme. If we go ahead and click back on the front end of our website, we can see that this is the theme. The theme is basically the design of the website. So this theme has this tan color and this big hello world and this navigation up here on the top and the sample page here with this search icon right here. That's the theme. We want to install a much better theme, in my opinion, that allows you to control the entire website, allows you to control all of the header and all of the footer at the bottom and everything in between. So it's much better at controlling all parts of your website. So installing a new theme is obviously super simple. All we do is go to the back end of our website, once again, by just clicking on our website name and then going to appearance and themes. Once we do that, we can click on add new because we're adding a new theme, and we can go over here and search for a theme. This one is called Astra. It's by far my favorite theme. ASTRA, and it actually is one of the most popular themes out there. So we can go over it and we can click on details and preview, and we can see over here that it's been rated close to 5,000 times, and I think it's installed almost, or if not, 1,000,000 times. So it's the most popular theme out there, and it's the best because you can do the most with it. So we're just gonna click on this install right here. Once it's installed, then we click on activate. Now we're gonna go to the front end of our website, and even though this doesn't look great, we can see that the theme or the design has changed and it looks different. We see this header up here, which looks a little bit different. This sidebar over here and the blog posts are showing up different right here. So the theme has changed to the best theme on the internet, and it looks a little bit different. It doesn't look great, but we're gonna make it look great in just 1 second. So to make it great, let's go back into our website and let's go to plugins and let's click add new. So what we're doing now is we're installing a new plugin that's gonna allow us to import an entire website into our website as a starting point. Remember, plugins help you extend the functionality of WordPress. So basically, if your website doesn't have something like a contact form, you can install a plugin that will be a contact form. or if your website doesn't have an image gallery that's really good, you can download an image gallery plugin and put it right in there. If your website doesn't have shopping cart functionality, you can easily download a plugin, and now your website will also have a shopping cart on it. So plugins are hugely important. It's basically just like installing an app on your phone or a program on your computer. It's really beneficial, and this is really where the power of WordPress is, where places like Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, and Shopify, they can't match how many people make plugins for WordPress and how many options there are. So there are thousands and thousands of plugins to choose from. This plugin is called Starter Templates, S-T-A-R-T-E-R, Templates, T-M-P-L-A-T-E-S. Press enter, and we can see the first one has 5 stars, 563 reviews, and 800,000 active installation. It's always important to look at all these numbers and also click the more details and get more information up here, like when it was last updated, who the author is, and how to use it. So with the installation FAQ, the different screenshots that you can see before you install it. So definitely investigate every plugin before you install it. And once you think it can do what you need it to do, then just click install now. So we're gonna click install now. It's gonna install for us, and then we're gonna click on activate. So one of the reasons why it was important to install the Astra theme first is because this plugin only works with the Astra theme. So now we have all of these different options of selecting a page builder like Elementor, Beaver Builder, Gutenberg, and Breezy. But which one do we choose? There is one that is much better than all the rest, and that's the first one, Elementor. So we're just gonna go ahead and click on Elementor. All right, now we have all of these options, and this is really getting up to you. Do you want an e-commerce store? Do you want a regular website? Which design do you really like? Any of these websites can also be mixed and matched to create any combination of any of these websites. We can also go up here, and instead of searching for all, we can search for free, so just the free ones. And we can scroll down and find something that you really like. I like to keep it super simple and easy, so I think I'm just gonna go with this nice nature elephant one. Click on it, and then we can import the complete site. Then just click on import. If we have already previously imported something, you can delete your previously imported site, but we haven't yet, so I'm just gonna click on import. And now it's importing, and this is saving you so much time. This is saving you at least 10 hours of work, and it's designed super nicely, and it's importing all of the images and all of the plugins that you need and everything, just so you have a nice starting point. And I think this is just a huge and amazing feature. So we're just gonna wait for it to import. It's importing the pictures right now. And now our import is complete. So we can click on view site. And now we can see we have this beautiful website. It's really nice, looks awesome, and we have all of these different pages up here. So we can click on the About page, and we can see the About Us page, and this is what it looks like. And I think this is such a cool starting point, such a cool feature that they've added to this. We can click on Services, and we can see the Services page. So if you had different services, you can put them up here. And we have our Projects page. So it has this really cool picture in the background and this projects, and these will be like our different projects here. We have this contact page that allows people to contact you, so you can fill out this form. It's already all set up for you, and you can send the message and put some more contact information right up here. And it has this really cool map right here that's interactive. So that's really cool. It's a Google map. And we have this extra button up here that we can use for anything that we like. It doesn't do anything right now, so if we click on it, it's not gonna do anything, but of course I'm gonna show you how to either remove that or make it do something cool. So that's it. We can get back to our home page by clicking on either home or clicking on this logo up here. And now we have a really cool website. And look, right now we could edit this website. We could click on edit with Elementor right here, and we can click on anything and we can edit it. So basically the philosophy is anything that you click on over here, you can edit over here. So if we click on this welcome to right here, we can edit it right here. If we click on this learn more button right here, we can edit it over here. We can scroll down and we can edit more things. So anything, again, that we click on here, we can edit here. Scroll down, same thing. Anything we click on here or here, you can edit here. If you want to edit an entire section and change the images, for example, we can click up here and you can press got it. You can also right click, they're telling you. And we can go to style over here and we can edit anything there. So although we can edit right now, I don't think it's the best idea. Remember, we're doing setup, options, and design. Setup, options, design. And that's because that's the best order to do things in. Right now, if we just jump into editing, we're gonna get all confused and lost and not know all of the options that we have in order to make our website the best that it can be. So first, we need to get all of the options, all of the raw materials on our website first before we start shaping and designing them. So right now, even though I know it's tempting to start editing your website, don't. It'll serve you much better in the long run. So let's figure out all the options and better ways to do things before we begin editing. All right, if we wanted to update our website, even though I don't think you should right now, you'd press update, and that would be it. So we can go back to our main website by removing all of this and pressing enter and pressing leave because we're not saving any of those changes. And that's how you would edit your site if you wanted to. I'm gonna get way more in depth into editing your website, but right now we need to get all of the options first, and then I'll show you all of the cool tips and tricks on how to edit your website. So now let's go back into our dashboard and let's do some more options. One of the options we have is backing up our website. So we need a plugin in order to back up all of our hard work right now. So we've done all of this stuff and we want to save our progress basically so that we can feel free to experiment more. So right now we're just going to click on plugins and we're going to get a new plugin that allows you to back up your website. So let's go to plugins. This is super cool because you basically save all your progress and you can always revert back to anything if you feel scared that you're gonna mess something up, which you're probably not going to. So then we click on add new up here. And then after that, we search for plugins. I'm just gonna type in all-in-one because it's called all-in-one WP Migrator, but I'm just gonna type in all-in-one and it's actually called all-in-one WP Migration. So 3 million active installations, 6,500 4 out of 5 stars, looks super good. Press install now. Now it's gonna install that onto our website. So we basically have an extra program on our website now, and now we're gonna activate it. And once we've activated it, we can see over here it's added something to the sidebar right here. So we're gonna click on it, and now we're just gonna export to and choose file. So we're downloading a file on our computer, and it's gonna export for us right here. And now we can download that to our computer by clicking on it. And now we just have to wait for that to download to our computer, but now we have a backup of the entire website and nothing was lost. So that's pretty cool. All right, so it's all downloaded. I'm gonna exit out of there and I'm gonna close this. If we didn't wanna upload an entire backup of the website, there's also an easy way to check all the backups. We can just go to backups right here and we can see our backup right here, and all we have to do is click on this restore button and it'll restore it. So I'm gonna create a label for the backup. I'm just gonna call this the clean installation. Press enter. That'll change the name. So now that I know if I ever mess up or do something wrong or crazy, then I can just restore this installation, and I also have it downloaded on my computer. All right, now we can go back to our dashboard. The next thing that we're gonna do is put your name into your website. So at the top of your website right now, it has this weird Sierra thing. So we're gonna go to your website. We can see the Sierra nature right here. So right there. So how do we change that and put in your website name? Later, we're gonna put in a logo, but for now, we're just gonna put in your website name. And to do that, all you have to do is click on customize. And then we can click on header because it's like the head or the top of our website. And then we can click on transparent header because this header is transparent. It's under the transparent header. Once we do that, we can remove this logo by clicking on remove. And then we can go back and we can actually go to site identity. And once we do that, we can also remove this logo. So we're gonna remove it. That's gonna remove it from the regular website, the non-transparent header. So we're not gonna see anything differently, but if we scroll down a little bit, it's gonna say display site title. So we wanna click on that, and we can change that if we want. We can put make here, and that should update right here, but I'll just keep create there, and we can see that change right up here. Now, if we scroll down, it's gonna say site tagline. We went over this before, but basically this just describes what you do. And if we hover over right here, we can see it. If we hover over this, we can see that it has our site tagline in right there. So that's what the site tagline is, and that's where it shows up. And it'll also show up in the search engines describing your website. Okay, once we're done with that and we have it how we want it, we can click on publish and we can exit out of there. And now our site title is on our website. Later, of course, I'm gonna show you how to design this much better, change the colors, change the font, change the height, and also insert your logo right there. But right now, we're not doing any of the design right now. We're saving that for later. And the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna insert a page right here. Maybe you want a different page than one of these right here. You probably do. So how do we make another page? It's super simple. All we have to do is click on our website name and then click on pages and then click add new. We can exit out of here and we can add a new page, whatever page that you want. Services, gallery, contact, FAQ, anything that you want right here. I'm just gonna put in gallery, and then I'm gonna click on publish. So I'm gonna publish that, then click on publish, it'll update, and after we're done with that, we can click on edit with Elementor. We're using the Elementor editor and not the regular Gutenberg WordPress editor because I think Elementor is much better. All right, so now we can edit our site. We can drag anything over on this left side to this right side or add any sections by clicking on this, but I wanna show you a much easier way of creating a page that is much faster. And to do that, we wanna click on this S button right here. Click on it. And now we have all of those pages from the Astra starter sites, the starter templates. We have them right here that we can insert into our website. So this is just a much faster way of creating a site. And we can go right here and we can make sure that it's free, or we can go over here and we can search for something. Maybe we want to search for gallery, and we can scroll down and search for some gallery. Maybe we like this one right here, so we click on it, and then we import this template. Now this saves us so much time and effort by just mixing and matching all of the different websites. We can make millions of different combinations and really find what we want out of them. All right, once we're done with that, we can go over here and we can press update, and that will update our website. And then we can click on this little preview icon. So click on preview, and we can see that we have a new gallery page, and it's looking absolutely beautiful. We can actually go to our website.com/gallery, and we can see that we have this nice gallery page right here. So we can exit out of this, and now we can see that although we created this page and it's absolutely beautiful, we have two issues. And one of the issues is that the page isn't up here. So if someone visited our homepage, then they would never be able to get to it because it's not up here. There's no way of getting to it. The second issue is that this isn't transparent. So all of our other pages were transparent, but this isn't transparent right here. So how do we make it transparent? So let's tackle these issues one at a time. First, let's tackle the transparency, and then we'll get this page into our navigation. So all we need to do to make the website transparent is go to edit page right here. And then on the right side over here, we can scroll down, and then under transparent header, we can enable. So once we do that, we can update, and then we can preview our website. So we can preview it in a new tab, and we can see this header is now transparent and this page is looking great. But we can also see that we don't have it right up here. So if we go to the home page, we can exit out of this. We can see that that gallery page doesn't exist. So our user is not going to be able to click on the gallery page from here. So what we can do is we can go to our dashboard by clicking on our website name, and then clicking on appearance, and then clicking on menus. And then we can click on the gallery page and click add to menu. That will add it to the menu, and now we can click, hold, and drag and rearrange the order that we want it to show up in. So if we want it right after home, we could put it there. If we want it right after services, we can put it there. So I'll put it right after projects, let it go, and press Save Menu. Now that it's saved, we can go and check our website by clicking on it. And we can see we have that gallery page right there, and we can click on it, and now our users can actually access that page. All right, but what if we don't like some of these pages here, or we just don't like the gallery page and we want to get rid of it? Well, that's super easy. All we have to do is go back into the back end by clicking on our website name and then going to pages. And here we can delete any page. So we want to get rid of that gallery page. We actually don't like it after all. So just click on trash and then go to the trash, and we can actually delete it permanently by clicking on delete permanently. And now when we go to our website, we can see that our gallery page is deleted from our website. The next thing that we do is we're gonna make a blog. A blog can be right up here with a little link that says blog, or it could be on your homepage. We want a blog because whatever industry you're in, you want to make really useful content for, so that people are attracted from the search engines, people are attracted from social media onto your website, and then they can be sold on the product and services that you're offering. Now, to me, this is much better than paying for ads from like Google or Facebook and attracting them to your website. It's much less expensive, obviously, if you're just making the content yourself. And I think providing helpful and useful information is just a much better strategy going forward than constantly paying for ads. So the way we make our blog post, and we're not designing the post yet, so we're not designing any of this yet, we're just creating it right now. But the way you do that is you go back into the dashboard. All right, once we're in the dashboard, you can go to posts and you can click add new, because we're adding a new blog post. All right, and because we're just adding dummy content, we're just practicing right now, I'm gonna go to Zen Habits, which is a uncopyrighted blog, so he lets you use them freely, and I'm just gonna copy in some content. So I'm just gonna copy this in right here and paste it in over here for the title, and then go back and copy in all of the blog post and paste that in right here. All right, obviously you don't wanna just copy in random stuff. You wanna do things that are relevant to your business, because we wanna attract the right type of person, not just anyone, but someone that's interested in what you have to offer. We are also using the WordPress default Gutenberg editor instead of the Elementor Visual Designer, because I think the editor that comes default with WordPress is much more consistent, it's much more structured. With Elementor, you can do whatever you want, but I want all the blog posts to look super consistent. That's why I chose the regular WordPress editor. All right, so that's looking pretty good. We can save draft if we're not done with our blog yet, but if we're done, we can go ahead and click on publish. Then we can publish it again. And now our blog is published to the internet. If we click on view post, we can view this post. We can see the title right there when it was created. And of course, we can edit this to make it look different, which I'll show you later. And we can scroll down, see the post, and then people can comment on it, tell you how amazing your content was. All right, if we scroll up, a quick way to make another post is to go new up here and click on post. And we can find another post by Zen Habits. Let's find this one right here, and we can copy this in and copy this in right here. And then we can publish it. So we can click on publish. Then we can view the post. And there we have it. We have another post in there, and that looks pretty awesome. All right, thank you, Zen Habits. That's all we need you for. All right, if we go back to the main website, we can see that we don't see any way for our users to access the blog. It's not on the homepage. It's not on a page called blog up here. There's no way for our users to actually see our blog page. So we've created a blog post, but no blog page to display all the blogs on. So we can create the blog in two ways. The first way is we can have it on the homepage right here. The second way, we can make a page called blog and put all the blog posts on that page. I'm gonna show you both ways, but if you have a product or service that you're selling, then you probably want to have it on a page up here called blog instead of your home page, because your home page is gonna be used for selling your product or service, and your blog page will be used somewhere up here to attract all of the users. All right, so let's set it to the home page. To do that, we can go back into the dashboard. Then we can go to settings and reading. Once we do that, it says your home page displays, and just click your latest post and then click Save Changes. All right, there are some other options here like how many posts per page and different options like that, but we can go back to the home page and click on Visit Site. And we see that our homepage has changed, and we can see all of our blog posts right here. This is the default blog post, which I'll show you how to delete in just a second, but we have all of our blog posts right here. And if we click on one, then we can see that entire blog post. All right, and if we go back to the homepage, we're gonna see that again, this is where our blog post lives, but I think it's probably a much better way to create a page called blog up here and then put all the posts on that page. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. So let's go back into the dashboard and let's go to pages and let's click add new. We're adding a new page called blog. So we're just gonna put in blog, B-L-O-G, and we're gonna press publish and click publish again. And then we're gonna view our page. Now we can see that this page is completely blank. It doesn't have any of our posts on it. So we need to go back into the back end and set our blog post to this page. So again, we can go up here and go into the dashboard, and then go to settings and reading again. And instead of your latest post, we want it to be a static page. So we want the home page again to be home and the post page to be that blog page. So that's where all of your blog posts are gonna go. Then we can click on Save Changes. Then we can go back and visit our website. And we can see that our home page is here. It's back to normal. We did set the blog post to the blog page, but it's not in our menu up here. So we need to put it in our menu. All right, so we go right here and go back into the dashboard and then go to Appearance and Menus. And then for pages, we wanna view all, and we see this blog page, and then we can add it to the menu. Once it's added to the menu, we can click, hold, and drag and rearrange it wherever we want, then click Save Menu, and then we can go back to our website and visit site. And now, finally, our users can click on our blog and they can see our blog posts. But we do have a problem now, and that's because this hello world is here, but we wanna delete it. So how do we do that? We can easily go back into the dashboard. We can click on posts, and then we can hover over hello world and click on trash. And then we can click on the trash and hover over it and click delete permanently. That will delete it off of our website. And if we now visit our site and go back to blog, we can see that our blog is just the way we want it. The next thing that we're gonna do is something that I think is super cool. We're gonna put a live chat in the bottom of your website so that when a user comes onto your website, you can actually chat with them and sell them on your product and services. I think this is super cool. So all we have to do is go up to your website name and click on dashboard. We're gonna be installing a plugin. Again, a plugin is something that extends the functionality of WordPress. It's basically like an app for your phone or a program on your computer, and you're gonna be able to connect and sell your users much better with chat, and I think it's super cool. So all we have to do is click on plugins right here and then click on add new, because we're adding a new plugin, basically a new program on your website. And then we're gonna search for plugins. This one is called SMARTS UPP, Smarts Up. All right, this one has 10,000 active installs, 4.5 out of 5. We're gonna install it now. It also is free, which is super awesome. Then we're gonna activate it. And once we're done activating it, we're gonna look over here on the sidebar and we're gonna see the Smarts Up icon, and we can click on it here. All right, next it's gonna ask us to create a free account. So I'm just gonna enter in my email right here and put in a password, and then I'm gonna create a free account. Just click on it. All right, then what I could do now is chat with our users. So I can chat with your visitors right here, click on that button. Then all I have to do is log in with that login that I just created. Click login, and then just click a basic color and press continue. Then I'm gonna put in my name. I'm just gonna say Tyler and press continue. And then you can put in a new auto message. That one looks fine to me, so I'm just gonna press continue. All right, then I'm gonna enter in my URL. So I'm just gonna type it in right here and press continue. And then I don't need to do any of this. I'm just gonna go down and go to install CMS plugin. And since we already did that, I'm just gonna press go to dashboard. All right, then I'm gonna exit out of here. I don't want notifications, but if you did, you can press continue and then I'll notify you when someone messages you. So I'm just gonna exit out of there and I'm gonna exit out of here because we already did this. And now I'm gonna open up Chrome in a new incognito window so it thinks that I'm a new user. And I'm gonna go to my website and now I can see this chat icon. So maybe I needed help with something. I could click on chat and I can say, hey, tell me more about your services, and click send. And that's as if a customer just sent that. And so now we can see in our dashboard right here, hey, tell me more about your services. We can click on that chat and we can reply back to them. I'm gonna say, sure, I do X, Y, Z and hit reply. And then if we go back to this, it will show our users that. So that's super awesome and a super great way of having a chat on your website. All right, so that's how you do it, and it has some more user information and a whole bunch more options, but that's basically how you install chat onto your website, and I think that's super cool. I'm gonna exit out of here now, and now we can go back to our website. All right, so we're chatting with our users on our website. We're getting valuable feedback. We're using that feedback to change the design so that we can actually sell more products or more services or help the customer more. That's all super interesting and nice, but we're not done with our information collecting yet, I don't think. I think we need to install Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a way to see how many people go to your website, what sort of links they click on, and where they come from. Do they come from the search engines? Do they come from social media? This is super valuable information to know. And once you do know it, you can check out which blog posts are popular, and you can make more kinds of those blog posts, which will attract more people to your website and get more people on, which will gather more data, and you can make better and better decisions based on all of that information that you have. So how do we install Google Analytics in order to know all of this information? That's what we're gonna do right now. All right, so to install Google Analytics, it's super simple. All we have to do is go to the dashboard right here, and then again, go to plugins and add new. We're adding a new Google Analytics plugin. We went through all the plugins, made a spreadsheet and ranked them, and the best one is from Google itself, and it's called Google Site Kit. All right, so we have Sidekick by Google installed 900,000 times, 4 out of 5. I think it's super good, so we're just gonna install it now, and then we're gonna activate it. All right, once we do that, we're gonna start setup right here, and we're gonna sign in with Google. All right, I'm just gonna use my tylermoore@gmail.com. It's gonna give me a 2-step verification, so I'm gonna send that verification, enter it in right here, and click next. All right, then I'm gonna click allow and allow. Okay, and then I'm gonna click allow again, and I'm gonna proceed to verify ownership. Then I'm gonna click allow again and add site. Then I'm gonna go back to the dashboard. And then after that, I'm gonna connect Google Analytics. So I'm gonna connect this service. I'm gonna click on my name again and allow. All right, go down here and allow. Then I'm gonna configure analytics. And now we have our Google Analytics connected. So right now it's gathering all of our data, and soon it's gonna display it all right here. So I'm just gonna press OK, got it. And we're gonna wait for all of this data to gather. And once it's gathered enough information, it's all gonna show right here. But I've already installed Google Analytics on my own website, so I just wanna show you what that looks like. So if we go to analytics.google.com, we can see on my website, there's 2 people on currently. One is from West Haven, and this is real time right now, so we can also see different things like this one's from Redondo Beach, and we can also see our acquisition. How did we acquire them? So we can go on to the overview and we can see that most of the people came directly. So most people typed in tyler.com or yourwebsite.com. And then 21% came from searches like from google.com or bing.com. Some of them were referred by social media, so like facebook.com or instagram.com, and some of them are referred just from other websites. And we can see how many users we get each and every day up here, and we can go down and drill down and click on any of these to learn more information about that. We can also look at their behavior. So what did they do on the site? If we click on overview, most of the people went just on the home page, so that's just slash. And then a lot of people, 6%, went to /templates. Some of them went to the introduction, and some of them downloaded other templates. So this is again for my personal website. If we click on audience and we can go overview, we can look at what the audience did. So how many users for which time period, how many are new versus returning users. So this is someone who's never been to the website. This is someone who keeps on returning day after day, or at least one time. This is how many pages on average people visited, so about 5.5 pages. And this is the average time that they spent on the website, so 4 minutes and 11 seconds. This is the bounce rate, or how many people just went on the website, then just jumped right off. So you want this to be low. The lower the better. And we can also click on demographics and go to an overview. And we can see that. We can see people's ages. We can see that it is mostly male and about 40% female. And you can just learn all types of really great and useful information. So again, once that information has all gathered, it'll be right here. So that's how you install Google Analytics. I think it's super important to know where your users came from, what they did on your website, and how you're attracting users to your website and what they're doing on your website. So super, super important, and that information can really make your website even better. So the next part is probably the one that you've been waiting for, and that's designing your website. So if we go to the homepage, we can see this design right here, but maybe we don't like this design. Maybe we want to design something else. So how do we do that? It's super easy. All we have to do is click on this Edit with Elementor, and we can literally make it look like any website out there. So that's what we're gonna do. Just click Edit with Elementor for the homepage. And now this is where we edit our website. So anything that you click on over here, you can edit over here. And also anything over here, you can drag and you can take this and you can put it here. So if you want this heading right here, you can click, hold, and drag, and you can put it here. If you want an image, you can click, hold, and drag this image and put it somewhere. If you want a text editor, click, hold, and drag, put it there. A button, click, hold, and drag, and put it there. So everything from this side can be dragged to here, and anything that you click on here will be editable over here. Let me show you what I mean. So maybe the first thing that we want to edit is this background image right here. To do that, we need to click on this whole section right here. So we click on it, and then it's editable over here. So we can click on Style to get to the style, and we can choose our image. So we'll click Choose Image. Maybe we want a different image. Right here, we can get free images from Pixabay. So we can click on it and we can search for any image that we want. These are copyright free and you can use them for your website. All right, and maybe we want to search for something like ocean, mountain. And maybe we can look and we can scroll and find something that we like. And we can obviously choose any of these and press Save and Insert. And that will download it right into your website, which is super cool. If you want to upload your own image, you can also do that by clicking here and then going to Upload Files and Select Files. And then go on your desktop and we can see right here, and we'll go to Hero Home and we'll open that. Wait for it to load and insert media. And now we have that image in there. But we can actually see that this image is too dark. It doesn't look like this image, and that's because there's a background overlay over it. So how do we change that background overlay? How do we make it a little bit lighter? So what we can do is we can go over here and we can go to background overlay and we can choose the color. So this is the background overlay. We can see it changing color here. So we can add a pink or a red or a yellow color overlay. And that's super cool because then it can match the colors of your logos or just match the feel or the style of your website. But we want it to be all the way black, and we want the opacity or how see-through it is not to be 1 because then you wouldn't be able to see anything, but to be really small, like 0.18. And that looks pretty good. That makes the text pop a little bit more. And to me, that looks super cool. The next thing that we want to do is reduce all of this space. This is just too much space and it pushes this text down way too far. And I just don't think it looks good. And then we want to increase the size of this font and maybe change what this says right here. All right, so to do that, all we have to do is click on this section right here and then go to Advanced. This is how you change the spacing. Go to Advanced, and then we see this padding right here. This padding adds space, so we want it to be 200, and now it looks right in the middle, and that looks much better to me. The next thing is let's change this text. Let's click on this text and let's change it to let's explore, and let's change the size of this text. So let's go to style and go to typography, and for size, let's make it 30. That looks pretty good. And then for this text, let's change it to WordPress. So I'm gonna caps lock WordPress. And to me, that looks much, much better. The next thing that we're gonna do is change this button right here. We're gonna change where it links to, and we're gonna change its name. All right, so to do that, all we have to do is click on the button. Once we click on it, we're gonna get the options over here. So let's change the text to contact us. And then to change the link, all we have to do is start typing in a page name like contact. And then that page will pop up and we can select it. Then it'll put the link in automatically for us. Now when anyone clicks on this contact us, it will link them to the contact page. We could also mess with things like alignment, so left, right, or center, the size of it, or we can mess with the style. We can make it have different text color or different background color. I think it looks pretty good as it is, but I'll show you how to change the background color here. If you ever want to save a background color, you can either just copy this hex code or press this plus button right here and it'll save the colors for you. So I'm going to copy that code, and then now we can change the color to any color that we want. Maybe we like this green here, or red, or purple, or blue, or anything that we want, we could do it right there. I'm just gonna go back to the color that I copied, so I'm just gonna paste it in right there and press enter, and I accidentally copied in the wrong color, so to revert changes, just press this button here and it'll turn back to that red. So that's how you change the buttons. There's tons of more options here, like typography. You can change the size of the text, or how things are rounded by going to border radius, or the padding or spacing in between these buttons by going to padding. Next, if we scroll down on this page, we can see that there's actually too much space right here, so we're gonna remove all of this space. To do that, all we have to do is click on this icon right here, go to advanced, and instead of 340, we'll change it to 200. And that will make this entire section look much more balanced and much better. The next thing that I want to show you how to do is not just how to edit these sections, but how do you create an entirely new section yourself. So if we scroll down right here under the About Us, maybe let's create 3 boxes. Maybe they say fast service, easy payments, and global shipping. Something that will help sell your customers so that they understand the value of your products or services. All right, so right here, we can use this plus sign to add a new section. And then we can click on this plus sign, and then we have all these options. Do we want it to be 1 column like this up here? Do we want it to be 2 columns, so it'd be split in half, like there's 1 on this side and 1 on this side? Do we want it to be 3, so 1, 2, 3? Well, we want it to be 3 because we wanted those 3 boxes right there. So let's click on 3. And what we want to do is we want to go over here to all these elements right here. And we want to search for icon because we're looking for an icon box. So we can click, hold, and drag this into any of these different columns, but let's just do the first one. And then we can change the icon if we want. So we can click on it, and maybe let's search for clock. And we can select our clock and insert it, and now we have a clock right there. And now we want to change the heading, so we'll click on this, and we're gonna say right here, we're gonna say fast service. And if we scroll down, we have these different options, how we want it positioned. So maybe we want it positioned to the left or the center or the right. I just want it at the center top. And then of course we can link it to any page that we want just by typing in whatever page we want it to link to right here, just like we did before. And if we scroll back up, we can go to style and we can change the color of this. So let's go ahead and change that color. Maybe let's make it a nice blue. Right in there, looks pretty cool. And we can also change the size of this right here. So maybe we want this to be 36, something like that. Or we can make it much bigger or much smaller, but let's just keep it at 36. And then maybe for this box right here, we want a little shadow, a little drop shadow around it, just so it stands out and pops out from the page a little bit more. So to do that, all we have to do is go to advanced, and then let's go down here and let's go to border. A border radius of 0 would have really sharp edges. A border radius of 50 would have very rounded edges. I just want to make it a little more rounded, so I'm going to do a border radius of 6. And then if we go to box shadow, we can click on this and we can change the shadow of it. You see how the shadow right now is really dark? We don't want it to look that dark, so we're going to click on this right here, and maybe we'll take the slider and we'll dial it down all the way to maybe 12. So it's very, very light and subtle, but I think it looks pretty cool. And then for blur, maybe we'll put it at something like 15. If we had it very blurry, you'd barely be able to see it. It would spread out really far. If we didn't have any blur at all, it'd be very sharp. So maybe about 15 is perfect. So now it's a very light shadow. And to me, we can see that there's no space between this box shadow and this icon. So let's add a little bit of spacing. And that's pretty easy. All we have to do is go up here to advanced, and under padding, we can put 20. That will add 20 pixels of spacing around it. All right, so that's looking pretty good, but we don't want to do all of that work again for each of these boxes. So how do we duplicate this and only modify the things that we need to modify? So the way to do that is super easy. All we have to do is right click and press duplicate, and we'll duplicate it again. And then we can click, hold, and drag this entire thing to each of these boxes. So just click, hold, and drag. And now we can modify it how we want to modify it. So maybe we want to click here and click on this icon, and let's search for a credit card, and we can click on it and we can insert it. Then we can add here, instead of fast service, we can say easy payments. And we can do the same thing in this box over here by clicking on it, and we can click this and search for globe maybe. And this one looks pretty good. And we can insert that. And here, maybe we can put global shipping. And next, if we don't like the spacing of these, we can click on the entire section and go to layout, and under content width, we can just adjust it right here. So maybe we want it to be more narrow or longer, or maybe we have a specific number in mind, like 960. And then this is too close to this right here, so we can change the spacing by clicking on this again and going to advanced and unlinking all the values for padding and just putting 160 pixels of space at the bottom. And now that's looking pretty even right there. The next thing that I want to do is something a little bit more fun. If we go down and we see this section right here, I think I want to replace this section with a big video background and maybe a customer testimonial. All right, so how do we do that? The first thing is to make this whole background a video background. So we can click on this entire section and then go to style, and then click on this video right here. And then we can open up YouTube, and we can look up drone footage Africa, or of course, whatever you want. All right, and we're gonna click on the first video, that's fine. And we can pause that, and then we can just copy this URL right here. We can exit out of there, and we can paste it in right here. And then maybe we want the video to start at 21 seconds. And maybe we want it to end at, I don't know, 40 seconds. So I'll start at 21 seconds, play all the way to 40, and then loop back around. All right, but this background overlay is a little too dark, so we want to reduce that. So we can go down here and go to background overlay, and we can reduce it, let's say maybe all the way, or maybe 2.2. That looks pretty good. And then we can delete all of these intersections just by pressing X and deleting them. All right, and what we're gonna do is add in a custom heading right here. So we can click on this elements button and take the heading and drag it in. We can center it, and we can put in some text. Maybe we'll put in customer review. And after we do that, we wanna go to style, and maybe we wanna make the text color white. So just drag it all the way to the left corner. That looks pretty cool. What we'd want to do now is drag in an intersection, because we want to control a section independently of this other section. So what we're going to do is we're just going to type up here intersection, inner, and we're going to drag that in. And we're going to drop it right under customer review. And now it gives us 2 intersections. We only need 1, so we can right click on this and press delete. And within this intersection, we're gonna drag in a testimonial. So we can just click up here and search for testimonial, and just click, hold, and drag it in right there. All right, we can go to style and change the typography basically the font size, and we can make the font size 15 or 20. Maybe we'll make it 20. And if we go to advanced, we can change the padding to 40 so there's space all around it. And then for the background, we can make this background white. So we can make it classic and make it white just so that we can see it. For the radius, if we look right here, it has a very sharp edge. But if we go to border and under border radius, if we type in 6, it'll have a rounded border right there. Let me just put in 60 so that you can really see it. So that's very round. 6 is just a little bit round. And finally, we can go to the content tab and we can put in our testimonial right here. We could put in, I don't know, wow, that is amazing. And put the rest of your testimonial right there. Then we can choose an image, so we can choose image. And again, you can either upload a file or find one from Pixabay. I'm gonna upload a file here and I'm gonna select files and I'm gonna find this guy right here and press open. Then we can insert media and he shows up right there. And then I can say the name is Jim Morrison. All right, we can also control this intersection right here, so we can click on it and we can go to layout and we can make it as wide or not wide as we want. Maybe we want it to be about, I don't know, 900. See if that looks good. That looks perfect. All right, that looks pretty cool. That looks actually pretty amazing. I really like that. The next thing that we're gonna do is modify this call to action button down here. So we're gonna change the color, maybe change the link, change the text. All right, so let's do it. The first thing that I wanna do is change this background color just so it pops a little bit more, maybe create a gradient all the way across. So click on the entire section, then go to style. Then instead of classic background, click on gradient. And for the first color, we can choose any color that we want, or we can put in a predefined color code. This is called a hex code. Some people ask me, what the hex does that mean? Okay, so you can put in your own code. You can do 4, 5, 6, E, B, 0. And that will give you a nice blue. Press enter. For the second code, we can do a turquoise. So we can type our turquoise code in right here, 23B8B6. And that looks pretty good, but it doesn't look great. And that's because the angle of the gradient isn't that great. So we can change the angle right here. And I think about 230 looks pretty good. So now that looks much better. But I think it'll look a lot better if we change this to some other text. So we can change this to, how can we help you? And then we can go to style and change the text color. Maybe we want it to be white. And then for typography, we can click on that. And we can change that to about, I don't know, 31, 32. All right, that's looking much better. Now let's finally change the button. So we can click on the button and we can say we want people to contact us. And that's gonna link to our contact page. There we go. All right, so we're all done with that. Let's click on the update button to update all of those changes and save them. So now that they're all updated, we can click on this little eye to preview our changes. And we can see that our website is changed and it has those 3 different selling points that we do right here. It has this really cool video background. If we go down here, we can see this really awesome call to action right down here, and everything is looking really good. Well, almost everything looks good. Right now, the desktop version is perfect, but the mobile version of the website isn't perfect. But luckily for us in Elementor, we can change the mobile version independently of the desktop version. So let's do that. All right, so let's just exit out of here and let's click on mobile. So this is what it looks like if you're using a mobile phone. So right now we can see that maybe this is too big, this let's explore. We can see that there's a big gap right here, and not all the time does video play in the background for mobile devices. So we want a fallback image. We want an image that will show just in case the video doesn't load. And maybe this can be centered right here. This looks pretty good. Maybe it could be just on one line. So let's change all of those things. It's super simple. So starting with this Let's Explore, I want this to be a little bit smaller. So we click on it and then we go to typography And we see this little icon right here. It's just the mobile icon. So we can go ahead and resize this, and this will only resize for the mobile version. Next, we can click on WordPress and do the same thing. Click on Style, and then go to Typography, and then increase the size a little bit, and that's just for the mobile version. Next, we go down, and everything looks pretty good. Maybe this About Us could be a little bit bigger. So again, we do the same thing. We can increase the size a little bit, and we can go down and we can see all of this right here. That looks pretty good. I like these sections. There's a huge gap right here, and we can do that by clicking on all of this right here. Going to Advanced, we see that little icon right here. So we can unlink these values and just do 60, something like that. That should be enough. And now there's just a little bit of space, and maybe let's put in 60 up here. So let's do 60 on the top also. And now that looks really good too. So right here, we need a fallback image because it doesn't always work. So let's go ahead and click on this entire section. And then over here, we can scroll down and it says background fallback. Again, you can choose any image that you want. I'm just gonna upload a file that I already have pre-selected right here. And I'm just gonna press open and then insert media. And now if this video doesn't load, this image will show up. So that's perfect. Let's keep on going down. And this needs to be centered. I think it would look much better if it was centered. And maybe this was a little bit bigger, so click on that. Go to Style, go to Typography. Let's make that a little bit bigger. And let's click on this. And we can see that this is mobile only. So let's do alignment here. And let's click on this and go to Style, and we see the mobile right there, and we can center it, and we can center all of these. So let's just go ahead and do this. All right, so now all of that is looking good and it's all centered, so that's perfect. The how can we help you? Maybe that should be on one line, maybe two, I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. So let's go like this, and yeah, let's make it one line. So 23, that's perfect. We can update that. And now if we look at it on our phone, it should look perfect. All right, so we've learned how to edit the desktop version. We learned how to edit the mobile version and make it responsive. Let's pick up the pace a little bit and edit all the rest of your pages. All right, so to do that, we wanna make sure we update it to save all of our changes. Then we can simply go to the front end of our website by removing all of this. And now we can visit any page that we wanna edit. So I wanna edit this About page. So I'm just gonna click on this About. So what do we wanna do on this About page? I wanna reduce this space. I think it's a little bit too much, so I want to reduce that space. You probably already know how to do that. And then coming down here, I want to make this section a lot simpler. Maybe make it one column, put our story at the top, because maybe this About section is about our team. And then down here, I don't think we need these different sections right here. They're pretty cool, but I don't think that we need them. So let's get rid of that and let's put our team members. Maybe one team member here, and one here. Kind of like that feature box we did on the home page. All right, so let's get to it. Let's scroll up. Let's edit with Elementor up here since we're on this page. All right, and let's first reduce this right here. Let's reduce the top and bottom. I'm sure you already know how to do this. You click on the entire section, you go to Advanced, and let's put 160 at the top and 160 at the bottom. That looks much more compact, and to me, it looks much better. All right, now let's delete this Nature's Lovers right here. We'll delete it. We'll change this to Our Story. So you can just type it in here for text right here, Our Story. And let's click, hold, and drag that over to this column. And let's delete this column right here by right-clicking it and deleting. Let's click on all of this and let's reduce the space up here. So let's go to Advanced, and for padding top, let's make it 80 for the top and 40 for the bottom. Let's check our work real quick. That looks pretty good. And let's click on this entire section again and go to Layout. And we don't want it to go all the way across because it's hard to read when it goes all the way across. What we want to do is kind of contain the text a little bit more so it has spacing on the left side and the right side, and that looks much better. So let's make it 800 width. If we can get it, if not, just type it in right here. And that to me looks a lot better, more pleasing on the eye. And the next thing that we're gonna do is just delete these two sections right here. We don't need them, so delete and delete, goodbye. Then we're gonna add in a new section, and we're gonna add in 3 different columns here. We're actually gonna add a new section right here that's gonna say our team. So I'm just gonna add a plus right here, and it's gonna be a single column that goes all the way across. And then I'm just gonna paste in that our team. Then we're just gonna paste in that, and we're gonna change this to our team. Then we're gonna go ahead and center that. And then we're gonna click on the entire section and go to advanced and unlink the values. And for padding top, we're gonna do 40. And for padding bottom, we're gonna do 20. All right, and we're actually gonna change this one a little bit in the advanced, and we're gonna make this one 20 and this one actually 60. While we're at it, we're gonna make the layout width 800 for this one. And then we're gonna go to the elements right here and search for image, and we're gonna see this image box, and we're gonna drag it into the first column. All right, now we're gonna click on choose images, and we're gonna upload some files. So I'm gonna upload files and select files, and then I'm gonna choose these different people right here. You can press Control if you're on a PC or Command if you're on a Mac to select multiple files, and then press open. They're all gonna upload here, but we're only gonna select one file. So that one's fine, so we'll insert media, and she'll be in there right there. Then we can go to style, and we can make the width of this 100% so that she's bigger. Then after that, we can duplicate this 3 times by right-clicking and pressing duplicate, right-clicking and duplicate again. And then click, hold, and drag to each of these different boxes. And now we have our team, but they're all the same person, so we need to go ahead and change that and put her name in here. Put in those names, and then change the profile image to some different people. Insert, and click and insert this guy. All right, these people are wrongly named, so let's do that again and insert this guy for that, and this one for her. All right, that is much better. All right, so now we have the our story and our team, and that is looking pretty good. We can go ahead and update that, and then we can preview what it looks like. Then we can exit out of there, and if we just go to the About page, we can see our changes, and it's looking pretty awesome. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna edit our services page, well, right there, and we are going to add some images to it. So let's go ahead and click on our services page. And what we wanna do on this page is we wanna reduce this space here and here. Then when we scroll down, we wanna add images under here to each of these services. So this could be like our service 1, service 2, service 3, service 4, and we want some images underneath here. So we're just gonna click on Edit with Elementor. All right, and to reduce the amount of space between here and here, you probably know how to do it. Click on the entire section and click Advance. We're gonna make this 160 on the top and 160 at the bottom. Next, we're gonna scroll down, and we're gonna add pictures right here. So all we have to do is click on this Elements button, and then click, hold, and drag an image in. And now we can choose our image from the image library. Again, you can find these images in the description below or from my website. All right, so I'm just gonna upload files and select files, and I'm gonna select the files that I want from the gallery images, and I'm gonna select desert and Command and click, or Control and click if you're on a PC, hike, Safari, and Stampede. There you go, and I'm gonna open them. And I'll just choose the Safari for the first one and insert media. Once I do that, we can do some cool effects to this by clicking on it and then going to Style. And then under Hover, if we click on it, we can see hover animation. So when we hover over it, it doesn't do anything right now, but if we put shrink, we hover over it and now it shrinks. So we can pulse and grow, or we can pop. And sometimes it's just a fun way of adding some cool effects. So we're gonna add the float effect just because it's not that noticeable and not too distracting. All right, once we do that, I'm going to again just click here and duplicate this a few times. And then I'm gonna click, hold, and drag them to these areas over here. And sometimes you have to wiggle it around a little bit to get it to register. And so that's just what we'll do. All right, once we do that, then we have to change all of these images. So just click on them, go to content and choose another image. Maybe we'll do a stampede for this one. And we'll click on this one and choose image. Maybe we'll do the hike for this one. And for this one, we can do the desert. All right, now all we have to do is change the names. So I'm just gonna change them real quick. And we're all done with that, and we're all done with that page. We can update it and we can view our page by clicking on preview, exit out of here, take off all this preview stuff right here. Here's our page. We have it now, and then when we hover over it, it has that cool little effect to it, and I think this is looking super awesome. All right, the next page that we're gonna do is we're gonna edit the projects page right over there. And what we wanna do on the projects page, if we click on it, we wanna add a gallery. So some images all the way over here. So a bunch of different images. Maybe you have different projects that you worked on and you wanna showcase all of your work. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna click Edit with Elementor, and we're gonna go ahead and click on the entire section because we're gonna reduce the size again up here because I think it's too big to 160 and 160. And then we're gonna get rid of both of these, all of these sections right here. So 1 and 2, we can keep the call to action section, that's fine. We're gonna click and we're gonna add in a new 1 column section right here. So once we have our 1 column section in right here, we wanna add a gallery to it. So we can click on these elements right here and just type in gallery, and the basic gallery is great. So we click, hold, and drag that in there. Next, we wanna add images to that gallery. So we just click on this plus, then we're gonna upload the images and select files. And then we have all of our gallery images right here. I'm just gonna click the first one and hold shift and click the last one to select all of them and press open, and they'll all be selected and they're all gonna upload. All right, now that they're all uploaded, we can make sure they're all selected and press create new gallery. Once it inserts, we can change the image size to medium, and that looks pretty great. Then we can click on the entire section and we're gonna give it a little more space by going to advanced, unlinking the padding and going 80 on top and 80 on bottom. That will give it some space up here, space up here. The gallery is looking super awesome, so let's click on update. Once it's updated, we can preview the changes and exit out of here and just go to the regular projects page, and we can take a look at the new projects page. It's looking fantastic. We can obviously click on any of these and we can scroll through, and it looks really cool. So now we are done with the projects page. So the next page that we're gonna work on is the contact page. So let's go ahead and go to the contact page. All right, and what we wanna do on this page is maybe remove all of the space right here, compress that down a little bit like before. I'm sure you know how to do that by now. And then over here, we're gonna change this contact us to, we're gonna duplicate it, put it right here, add some social media icons right here, show you how to change all of this information, and then finally on this map right here, show you how to change this map and change the settings. So to do that, all we have to do is click on Edit with Elementor. And first thing first, let's change this right here. So click on the entire section, go to Advanced. Instead of 250, let's do 160. And you can click Tab twice, and then do 160 again. That looks pretty good. Then we're gonna duplicate this contact us. So just right click or command click or control click, I believe, and press duplicate. And then click, hold, and drag. And then right here, instead of this, let's do follow us, because we're gonna put social media under here. All right, so we can search for our social media icons right here. So let's go up here and search social, and then click, hold, and drag under follow us. And then we're gonna align this left, and you can always add a new one. So let's say we have an Instagram, we can click on it and we can put in a link, instagram.com, and we can change the icon and we'll search for Instagram. So there it is, and we can insert it. So we can also change the shape or the colors or anything like that. We can do it rounded or square or circle, and that'll change up there. We'll keep it rounded, that looks pretty cool. And then we can scroll up and go to style, and we can change it to official color to custom if we want, and we can change any of the colors, so we can make it a nice blue or black. That looks pretty good. And then we can change the secondary color, which will change the color inside there. And we can also change the size. So maybe we want this size to be 20 pixels, but maybe we want to keep it the official color. So we could just go like that. We can also change the spacing a little bit. So make it a little bit wider, maybe 10. And you have a whole bunch of other options to choose from to make it exactly like you like. And there you go. That's how you put in your social media icons. If you want to change this, which I'm sure you do, you can also edit this. So you just click on it, and then for the items, for the first one, let's click on it. We can change the icon if we want, but I think that's a pretty good icon. So change the text, maybe I'll put Malibu, California. For the email, I'll put in my email just by clicking on it and putting in email. And then the phone number, same thing, click on it, pretty easy stuff. All right, so it has all of our information. That looks pretty good. Down here is the map. If we click on it, it'll allow us to edit it. Well, maybe not if you click on it, but if you click up here, it'll allow us to edit it. And then we can put in any address and it'll actually go to that address. So there we are. And then we can make it zoom in a different way. So we can maybe zoom out a little bit. And that looks pretty good. So we will update and save that. Of course, you can also change the height, but we're not going to do that right now, but it can be bigger or smaller. We'll just keep it at 480. Then we can press update because we're all done with that page. Now we can preview our page, exit out of here, just go to the main contact by deleting all of that. And we can see our new contact page. It's working awesome. People can click, hold, and drag around the map. They can zoom in or zoom out, and that is looking really cool. But we're not done quite yet because we have this form down here that we didn't go over, and we didn't go over it because it's not part of Elementor. It's a plugin called WP Forms, and there's a different way of editing this and controlling this. So let's go over that right now. So what we can do is we can scroll up and go to the dashboard, and then just click on WP Forms right here. And then click on edit form, or just click on the form. All right, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add a contact phone number and maybe a drop down, and maybe we'll delete this subject line right here. So to delete this subject, we can just click on delete right there, press OK. And then to add a phone number so that we can get our user's phone number, we can just add a single line text, just click, hold, and drag. And we'll drag it right under email. And then we can click on it and we can change it. So I'll say phone number. And we can make it a required field so that people have to put in their phone number in order to submit the form. And then we can go to advanced options, and we see it doesn't go all the way across, but we can make that large and it'll go all the way across. And now we have a nice phone number in there. The other thing that we want to do is make a drop down. So this will be the department that this message should go to. So what we can do is we can go to add fields, scroll up, and we see a drop down. So we just click, hold, and drag that. And now we can click on the drop down, and we can go over here and scroll down, go to advanced options, and make the size large so it goes all the way across. We can make it required by clicking on that button, and we can change the options for the drop down. So maybe first choice is general, second choice is tech support, and third choice is sales. And maybe this will say, how can we help you? All right, so they can choose the category of the help they need, send their message, and we'll get it in our inbox. But how do we embed this form into our page? Right now it's already embedded into our contact page, but if it wasn't, all we'd have to do is click on this embed right here, and then use a short code, and then just copy it by pressing on this button. So we copied it, we're just copying this code right here. Exit out of there, we can save the form. But before we embed that into our website, we want to go to settings and then click on notifications. And then it's going to ask us, what email do we want to send this to? So we want to send it to your email address. So whatever your email address is, type in right here. And then what's the email subject line? I'm just going to say new website message. And then who's it from? So this is called a smart tag. So it's from the your name field. So if we show smart tags, it's gonna have the your name field. So that's your customer's name. So if we click on it, it'll add that tag in there. It's already in there, so we don't need to do that. And then it's from their email. So if we show smart tags, we can add in their email right there, and that would add in this. All right, and who are we replying to? We're replying to the person. So that's that field right there. Then in the message that it sends us, I want it to send all fields. So it'll send everything that the user has filled out to your email. Then we can click on confirmations. And this is the message that the user sees after they submit the form. So instead of saying we'll be in touch with you shortly, we can say we'll be in touch with you in 24 hours. All right. Now we can save it. Now we can, again, embed it and click use a short code and copy that. And now we can exit out of here and view the new edited contact form by visiting our site, going to contact. And now if we scroll down, we can see this new contact form right here. But how would we get it on this page if it wasn't already on the page? It's super easy. All we'd have to do is click Edit with Elementor. And then what we would do is we would click on the Elements tab. We would search for short code, because that's what it's called. This little code that we copied, it's called a short code. We'd click, hold, and drag where we wanted it. Let's say we wanted it here. And then we would paste in that code that we just copied from the WP forms. Paste it in, and then it would show up right here. So now we have two of them. So we don't need two of them, obviously. So we can delete that bottom one. And now we just have the top one that we just made. All right, so we can apply changes. We can update it. Then we can go back to our contact page. And now we can fill out this information. So I'll say, my name is Tyler. My email is tyler@tyler.com. This is my phone number. How can we help you? I need sales. Do you ship to me? All right, and then we can send message. So we send message and we should get that notification message that says, thanks for contacting us. We'll be in touch with you in 24 hours. So that's the message that we changed. And now if we go into our email, we should see that message. And we can see our message now, and it has all of the fields in there, and we can contact them or reply back. The message is new website message. If we click reply, it should go to that email that we put in there, and then we can reply back and start a conversation with your user. Every once in a while, this does go into spam, so you want to check your spam folder and just mark it as not spam. So now we can exit out of there, scroll up, and that's how you control your entire contact page. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make this a contact button. Right now, this take action button doesn't do anything, and this button should be our most important button on our website because it stands out the most. So we're gonna remove this contact and we're gonna move it right here. Of course, I'm also going to show you how to change the color of it and how to remove it completely if you don't want it on your website. The first thing that we're going to do is copy this contact page URL. So just copy it, and then we're going to click on customize. And then we're going to go to header, and we're going to click primary menu. And we can see for button, if we don't want it there, we can choose none. We also have a few other choices like a search icon or just text or HTML, which is code, but we're just gonna leave it button. And it only looks like this because there's not enough room, so it won't look like that on your real website. So now for the button text, we want it to say contact. And for the button link, we want to paste in that page URL address that we copied before. So I'm just gonna paste it in there. And then now we can also change the colors for that. So we can scroll down and click on customize button style. So just click on that and we can change the color of it. But know that when you change this color, other colors are gonna change too. So this color would change too. So we can go up here and we can click on the color and click on it again. And I'm just gonna copy this color code so that I don't lose it, but basically we can change any of the colors right here. So maybe that looks pretty cool. And we can scroll down and we can see that it actually changed this color also. And we can also change the hover color and everything like that, but we're just gonna revert back to the way that it was, or we can click on it and we can paste in that color. All right, so that is how you control the navigation button, but we're not done yet because we have to remove this contact navigation menu item. So the way that we can do that is we can go back and back again. And before we change the navigation through the dashboard on the back end, but we can also do it here. So we can go to menus and we can go to this menu right here. And if we see contact, this one actually refers to this. So we can go here and we can press remove, and that will remove it. So now it's looking really nice. So finally we can press publish and we can exit out of there. And now if we go to the home page or any other page and we want to contact you, we can click on that and it'll go straight to the contact page. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create your logo and we're gonna insert it right here. So we're gonna create it on another website. It's gonna be super cool. We're also gonna create 2 versions of your logo and something called a fave icon. The fave icon is this little icon right up here that basically is the icon for your website. So it's super cool just to have something personal and custom up there. So let's see how to make this. The 2 different versions of your logo is for the transparent version that would be right up here on these transparent pages. And for something like the blog page, we need a black version for this page because it has a white background. All right, so let's go back to the home page and let's open up a new tab and let's go to logomaker.com. That's LOGOMAKR without the E.com and press enter. Because I've already started a design, I'm just gonna say create new design, but you probably won't see this. So just create a new design if that's here. Then we're gonna exit out of here and now we can search for over 1 million graphics. So I'm just gonna type in mountain because that's what I want. And the first one seems fine, so let's just click on that one. All right, so once we have our mountain in here, we can easily change the color right here to anything we want. I'm gonna keep it black and I'm gonna move it over here. Then I'm gonna resize it by holding and dragging the edge to resize it a little bit smaller. And then I want my text over here. So I'm gonna click on the text and I'm just gonna type in mountain. We can click, hold, and drag to position it. And we can do it right there. And then we can make it bigger and we can drag it again. And we can also change the font. So maybe I want this font to actually be Proxima Nova right here. So that looks pretty good. And then I'll make it maybe a little bit bigger and position it again. So that's looking pretty awesome. I want both of these to be black so I can just make a selection on both of them and then make them both black. And I want to save that version, so I'm just going to save that right here. I'm going to say no thanks, download file. So we have the black version right there. And then what we can do is we can exit out of here, and now we need the white version of this logo, so we can highlight everything and make it white. We don't see anything right now, but it's there. So we're just gonna press save, and now we have the saved white version. All right, and now there's one more that we need to save, so I'm just gonna make this black again so that we can see it. And I'm gonna click on this and I'm gonna delete it by pressing delete, or we can click this little trash button right here. And then I'm gonna click, hold, and drag this to the center, make it a little bit bigger or smaller. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crop this. So I'm gonna exit out of here, and I'm gonna go to this crop button. So we're doing this for the fave icon. It needs to be in certain dimensions. So we can click, hold, and drag, and let's say we want it to be about 128 by 128. So we're gonna get this to 128 by 128, and that looks perfect. Then we're gonna click on this and we're gonna check it, say, okay, apply crop, but then we're gonna resize this to be perfectly in the center. So we're gonna resize this as big as possible, and that looks pretty good. So we're gonna save this also. So we're gonna save this and we're gonna say no thanks, download. So now we have the black version, the white version, and the fave icon. Now let's upload these to our website. So let's exit out of Logo Maker and let's go to customize. And the first thing that we wanna do is we wanna get rid of this old text. So I'm gonna click on header, then I'm gonna click site identity, and then I'm gonna scroll down here and where it says display site title, I'm gonna uncheck that. That's gonna make it go away. And then I'm gonna click back and go to transparent header, because this is a transparent header right here. So transparent header, And then I'm gonna select the logo, so I'm gonna select image. Then I'm gonna select my white logo, which I believe is this one. So I'm gonna upload files and go here and put it there. And I'm gonna choose image and it'll show up right there. If it's not the right width, we can adjust this width, but 250 is great for me. And now that I'm done with that, we actually do need to change it for the pages that don't have a transparent header, so like the blog page. So we need to go back and go to site identity again. And now we're gonna upload our black logo. So select and upload files and drag in the black version. And then we're gonna select it and skip cropping. And now it's on there, but we don't see it because we're not on the page right now. And now if we scroll down, it's asking us, do we have the site icon? And we do. So that's the icon that goes up here. So we're gonna select it and we're gonna upload files and we're gonna select the last one. Then we're gonna press select. We're gonna skip cropping because we don't need to crop it. And now that little logo is up there and that is super, super cool. All right, once we're all done with that, we can exit out of there and we can click publish and exit out of there. And now we have our logo up here. And if we go on the blog page, we have our other logo and that is looking super, super good. All right, so that is how you create and insert your logo. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna design your blog. So we've already entered in your blog post right here. And if we click on your blog posts, we can see that your blog posts are here, but they're not designed. So we copied and pasted all this bolding, all these links and everything like that. So maybe we want it to be a little bit different. Maybe we want an image down here, maybe a list down here, maybe we want to add a button down here somewhere. And maybe this blog post on the top can have a featured image up here. And maybe we can also learn how to put in different subheadings. So let's learn how to do all of that. All right, so all we have to do is click edit blog post, or from the dashboard, we can click on posts. And if you wanted to add a new post, you'd click add new, but we're just editing our post. So we're just gonna click on our post. And now we can edit our blog post. The first thing that I wanna do is maybe add an image. So let's add a little bit of space and we hover over with our mouse and we see this plus button. So we can click on the plus button and we can choose image. And that'll put our image right in there. And then from the media library, we can either upload files or get them from Pixabay or select from our library. And maybe we want to enter in this desert right here and press select. And that'll put it in right there. The next thing that we can do is we can make a subheadline. So we can just highlight this right here and we can click on this and we could go to heading and it'll create a heading. So we can make it H2 or H1. H1 is usually the main heading. H2 is the second heading that usually you would use on your pages for subheadings. And then H6 is the smallest heading. So largest, smallest, this is the one you probably want though right here. All right, and then we can also bold things by clicking and highlighting and press bold. We can also make them a link by clicking and then adding a link. Maybe this is a link to about page. Just type about and we can select that page. And this is all super easy, just like Microsoft Word or Google Docs. We could also make a list if we want. So maybe we want a list down here somewhere. So we just add some space, see the plus button, and we can make a list. All right, so there's our list. And maybe we also want a button. So maybe we'll make a space for a button over here. And we can add the plus and we can browse all if we want to see more. And we can search for a button and click on it. So then we can add in whatever we want, like contact us to learn more. And we can also make that button a link. So that can go to the contact us page. All right, so there we have it. There's a ton of more stuff that we can do, but that's the basics. It's pretty simple. Next, let's add a featured image up here, and that'll also show up on our blog page. So let's click on this right here, the settings, and go to post right here. And then under featured image, we can set the featured image. So maybe we want this mountain down here to be the featured image, and just click set featured image. Then we can update that. And we can preview that blog post. We'll preview it on the desktop. And we have that featured image there, the new image, the new subheadline, that bolded, this link right here, and this link all the way down here, and this list. So it's looking pretty good. If we go back to the blog page and exit out of here, we can see that that featured image is displayed on this page. So that's pretty cool. Let's add another featured image to this blog post right here by clicking on it, and then just clicking edit post, and then going down to set featured image, and let's search maybe for that elephant and set featured image. All right, then we can update that, and then we can preview it, exit out of there, and we can see that featured image right there. And if we go back to blog, we can see both of our blog posts with that featured image. But what if we don't want these featured images here and we want to change the content that's on this page? How do we edit this blog page right here? And it's super easy. All we have to do is go to customize right here, and then just click on blog, and then click on the blog archive. So here we can turn on and off the featured image if we want. I'm going to keep it on though. We can also turn on and off if the comments are here. So this would say like 3 comments if we had any comments. We can also click on and off the category and the author. So I'm just gonna remove the category, and we can also change the width of it. So if we want it to be a custom width, we can change that too. We can make it very thin if we wanted to, but I'm just gonna revert back to the normal size. All right, so that's how you edit this page. There's also some more options down here, like what kind of font you use and things like that. But that looks good to me, so I'm gonna click on publish. Then I'm gonna exit out of there, and now we're done designing not only the blog post, but also the blog page. All right, the last thing that we're gonna do is go back to the home page, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit your footer. Your footer is at the bottom of your website right here. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this font bigger, maybe change this text right here. Maybe we'll add in some links, because if someone gets to the bottom of your website, maybe you want them to have some links so that they can navigate around your website rather than just leaving. And then we'll edit the contact section down here. And finally, we'll remove powered by create a website. We'll take this and we'll put it in the center right here. So all we have to do is go into the dashboard, and then under appearance, we're gonna see header footer blocks, and click on that. And where it says site footer, hover over it and click edit with Elementor. All right, so now I'm gonna change this about. I'm gonna make it, instead of an H5, which is smaller, I'm gonna make it an H3, which is bigger. And I'm gonna do that to all of these right here. So just make them a little bit bigger with this contact too. And then for this one, I'm gonna type in site navigation, site. And for our about, I'm gonna enter in something else. I'm gonna type in learn how to create a website with WordPress, step by step. All right, then what I wanna do is add links right here. So I'm just gonna click on this and press delete. And then up here, I'm going to search for navigation, choose the second one, and I'm gonna click, hold, and drag underneath here. Then for the layout, I'm gonna choose vertical, so it goes up and down. Then I'm gonna go to style and change the color to white. So text color, make it white. For the hover, when you hover over the links, I'm gonna make them red. So I'll choose maybe this red. And now when you hover over it, it'll turn that red. And then we're gonna view this on mobile to make sure that it's okay. So we'll view it on mobile, and it collapses here. So we don't want that to happen. So we'll go up here and go back to content, then layout. And when we see breakpoint, we're gonna choose none. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Let's go back to our desktop view, and let's go back to the contact section, and let's edit some of these. So I'm just gonna put in all of this information, then the phone number and the email. That's all looking really good, except for this powered by create a website. We don't need that there. So let's delete this column by clicking on it and pressing delete. And then let's center this by clicking on it and making it go into the center. All right, so now our footer is looking great. Let's update that. Let's preview it and exit out of here. And now this is just previewing our footer. So what we wanna do is just go back to our main website. So we can just remove all of this right here and go back to our main website. And if we scroll down all the way to the bottom, we're gonna see the new footer, and it is looking super, super great. All right, there's one more optional step if you want, and that's logging out of your website. You obviously don't have to do this, but I like to do it. So what you can do is you can go over right here and you can press log out, and you'll be logged out of your website. Of course, if you want to log back in, you just go /wp-admin. But I want to log out completely. And now I'm viewing the website like a visitor would view it, and it is looking awesome. So now we are done with the entire website. Congratulations. You guys should be super proud. We did it all step by step with no steps skipped. So please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you know someone who wants to create a website, please send this video to them. I'm Tyler Moore. Thank you so much.